Hi, Mackenzie. I just checked with everyone else. I am going to record this because a few people have questions. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that works. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to send it to a few people who couldn't show up. Great. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I have a screen share for you all just with the basic information that you kind of usually want to know, all the questions I get. And then I was going to just go over a quick exercise with you just to show you the different pieces of apparatus and how we really get into every single exercise as you would see it in an actual TT. So I'm going to do a little screen share. Hang on. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right. So this is our Club Pilates teacher training. My name is Blake, and I will be your master trainer for this New York City TT. My information is there. I'm also going to give you my phone number in the chat because that's the quickest, best way to reach me. And off we go. So basic questions that you all have. The teacher training is actually one of the most comprehensive and cost-effective teacher training programs out there. So it's an amazing way to begin a new career for yourselves or advance your current teaching experience. And some of us just want to do this to learn more about our private practice. So whatever it becomes for you, it's an incredible way to do all of those things. It's 500 hours of comprehensive Pilates education, right? And it allows for flexible pacing because it's a blended format for you to work with. So what we mean by that is that there's in-person learning days. There's 12 in-person days, which is what we would start teaching here in the third week in April in the city. And those are 6 hours from we're going to end up doing them from probably 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we're skipping kind of weeks in between. There's also independent study and the online educational tools. So the Canvas that you would have access to as soon as you purchase this would be all of your online education tools. And then the independent study is the hours that we do either for ourselves or that we're doing with other people to encourage us to teach and have hands-on learning for what we have learned in our in-studio days. You're going to receive a comprehensive education in all of the following apparatus. So we've got mat, reformer, the jump board for our cardio classes, the springboard, Cadillac, chair, ladder barrel, spine corrector, and magic circle. So no matter where you go, literally in the world, you can use this certification. You're going to have access to our proprietary educational tools. So that's Canvas. And you have access to your host studio facility for a year from the date that we start our first in-studio day, which is set to be April 21st now. And then should life happen, as it does often, we've got extensions for Canvas access, for mentorship, access to your host studio. So there are additional test outs that are available, okay? There are subject to additional tuitions or fees. So but you have access to all of this for a year, okay? And then when you graduate, this really opens up the world for you. So you can sit for the National Pilates Certification Program test exam, and you'll be fully prepared for that. And then you can teach anywhere. So you can teach in a group fitness facility on a one-on-one basis with people, in big gyms, boutique studios. And of course, we would love to have you at our growing family of Club Pilates. We always really need people, right? So we are worldwide, and I want you all to know that, right? We fulfill the global standards for Pilates instructor education. And that's amazing, to know that you can go anywhere in the world. You could enroll right here. So I've kind of bolded some of these things, right? At Club Pilates, www.clubpilates.com/teacher-training, okay? Or you contact your local host studio. And again, some of our managers are on here with us. We'd like to do whatever we can to easily do that for you. The tuition options as of April 1st are, $49.95. And there are some payment plan options available to you. So it's $29.50 and then 5 months of payments after that. And this is new, so please excuse me if my breakdown isn't quite correct, but we will get you the correct numbers. This is kind of a starter. And then they have an Enroll Now program where you would pay a fee now. It's $2,000. I am not sure exactly positive if that is still the amount, but it's around there. And then you defer the additional payments until you start the in-studio days. Okay, so there are some different payment plans and options for you. There's also the modular courses. So we do have people that come in and they say you have a mat certification. So, and you just want to go through some of the modular courses. So the reformer, mat foundations and anatomy would be $800, and the reformer anatomy and special populations, $2,000. Some of these again have changed a little bit, but this is basic pricing. They may go have risen just a little bit, but that's the basic pricing for you. To gain credit for your Pilates courses that you've already taken, you can contact teacher training at clubpilates.com. All right. And then before you actually start teaching in one of our studios, even if you're going to practice as a student teacher or as an apprentice, you would want to get insurance. But they're very easily obtainable from either IDEA or the PMA. And then just to be Club Pilates as your additional insured. So you would just we'll grab a student insurance program, and they're between $50 and $75. And then you want to think about upgrading yourself when you become fully certified. And then we just use, if you were going to teach at a Club Pilates, you would use them as just list them as your additionally insured. Okay. There are manuals available that can be purchased, or you are given access to your manuals in a digital PDF form when you buy the certification. So you can just get onto Canvas and download everything, but some people do like to have something to write in. So now my classes are very different, I think, from the way that they used to be, where we were all constantly writing in notebooks. But writing is a really good way. Note-taking is a great way to learn, and that's a great process. So you can always do that. Or I have a lot of students that literally, used to get in trouble for being on your phone in school, but a lot of us take notes on our phone now. And a lot of us will have either their laptop or their iPad or whatever the case may be. So any tool that you use for learning is completely acceptable and appreciated in class. The in-studio days. So we do the mat class on days 1 and 2. We do the reformer modules on 3, 4, 5, and 6, a springboard module day 7, the Cadillac day 8, a chair module day 9, and then we do barrels and circles day 10. We have a special populations day, day 11, which you guys really lead. So you pick out kind of the special population that you're most interested in. And then we do a little marketing program ourselves, and we go over it and how we would teach that special population. And then the last day, 12, is teaching skills and programming. So you really can hit the ground running and feel like you can start to teach some classes, hopefully right away. You have mandatory attendance for all of your in-studio learning days. If you have missed a day, because again, sometimes life happens. Sometimes we have a wedding to go to. Sometimes, things happen. Sometimes your child is sick, whatever the case may be. We know that sometimes we have to miss them. And if you have missed a class, you can make it up at your host studio the next time that they're having it, or if you can get to a Club Pilates corporate location. But those right now are in California and Georgia, so that's not always easy for us. So next time New York would have one. If you decide to come and see me somewhere in New Jersey or Philadelphia, then you would have to ask that studio if it's acceptable, and it would be $100 a day to that studio. Ready. And then our proprietary 500-hour comprehensive course consists of the following. Sorry, I'm just admitting someone else who popped up. It's 150 hours of that online Canvas content, 66 hours of the in-studio applied learning days with me, 80 hours of observation, 100 hours of self-practice, 70 hours of practice teaching, and 34 hours of assistant teaching. So I'll kind of break those down quickly for you. Each module has kind of a different program hour attached to it. For example, the mat and Pilates Foundation consists of 25 hours online, 11 in-studio hours, and then 15 observation hours, 20 self-practice hours, 12 practice teaching hours, and 6 assistant teaching hours. Okay, and you can get more of the details down at this https rebrand.ly CPTT program requirements, right? So that's if you want to jot that down, if you want to look for some more of that. I'm going to also just put up the hours. So this is literally taken out of my book, and you can see the reformer has 45 hours, online hours. So it varies. All right, self-practice actually consists of the time spent physically practicing the Pilates method. So that's you guys going in and taking a class where you take Pilates, or doing it at home, right? You can watch some of the things online. So we have acceptable hours. You could watch John Gary TV. I'm sure a lot of us do. Yeah, we love Pilates. So there's certain things that you can watch and you can do online for your different hours. And then we've got the practice teaching. So the practice teaching consists of a private or small group training, and that's no more than 4 people, right, that we want you to teach at first. You could do it at a Club Pilates. You could do it at other studios with your TT peers, and in private if you have access to the equipment. And a lot of the studio owners are really helpful with giving us time. It's generally after class hours or in between. It has to be, of course, and when the private room is not being used. But the studio owners are super great about this. There are costs related to the completion of the self-practice and practice teaching hours that are not included in your tuition. So when you're practice teaching and you bring a client in, that client is supposed to pay $10 to the Club Pilates host studio. Again, You can talk to your managers. Some of them are here online. You could talk to the owners, and sometimes those fees could be waived for you. Okay, so always ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. And then mentorship, right? You will be mentored by your master trainer who will lead the in-studio days. Yeah, that's me. All right, record our attendance, check our assignments on Canvas, and then I would be submitting your request for your final written exam when you're ready. And, all along, I'm answering the questions about Canvas and about the TT program and about Pilates in general that would help you. So I'm really here to give advice, to try to help you meet your goals, to push you through some deadlines, and to help you progress. I also would proctor your practical exam at the end. So we get to know each other. I know you, you know me. That doesn't mean to say, if you move somewhere and you want to do this practical test out with a new mentor in a different state, in a different country, we will share information. So we're there for you for that as well. But because of COVID, now these Zoom meetings, yeah, we can test out on Zoom. So you can be with me the whole time, no matter what, right? It's up to a year from that date that of our first in-studio day, all right? Or the date that you first enroll, whichever comes first. After that year, there are some additional fees that would apply, okay? And then in addition to program hours, there is a written assignment prior to graduation. And that's 3 class flows that I would assign to you. You decide all the exercises that you want to use, all of your favorite exercises and the level and the modifications that you assign to those people. And it's just going to end up serving as a resource for your reference beyond graduation. So all of these different observation hours and self-practice hours, we want you to be writing them down. And in Canvas, there's applicable papers for you to print out so that when you leave this course, you literally have a notebook full of all of these different classes that you can bring with you to teach. When you're first teaching, sometimes you think, oh, I'm going to forget. What am I going to do? No, you have a complete book that's a reference guide for you that goes from here on out for the rest of your Pilates career. And you better believe we all like to reread our notes and go over things. So it really helps. The program moves quickly. So on average, the 500 hours of education can be completed between 6 and 9 months. The 6-month pacing would mean that it's a time investment for you of an additional 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. So if you want to complete the program in 6 months, we're going to be, 15 hours a week in addition to these in-studio hours. Right? So we ask that you don't start teaching anything, even with practice teaching, until you've completed your in-studio hours. And then 15 hours a week, and you can be a teacher in 6 months, right? And then the method for your evaluation of grading, 50% is that practical test out, that final practical test out with me. 25% is the online and in-person assignments that you'll be completing and doing throughout. And of course, the completion of all of these observation and practice and assistant teaching hours. And again, that gives you your notebook of classes to take away and be able to teach. And then 10% is your final online written exam. 10% is the anatomy course that's online. And 5% are those final written assignments that I will give you. So for the grading scale, your final practical test out and online exams require a minimum score of 80 to graduate. All the other assignments end up being graded complete or incomplete. Okay, so it's really that final practical and your written exam that will come out with the grade, and it has to be 80 or above. Okay, so I'm going to open us up to any questions And then I'll show an exercise. Did I answer everything? Any questions? Feel free. I don't see anything in notes. We're good.
If you don't have any questions, I'll share. Hi, everyone. My name is Siobhan. I'm the manager for the Cobble Hill studio, also the Gramercy studio, as well as a new location we have opening in the summertime, Midtown East. It's going to be on 45th Street and 2nd Avenue, so we're definitely going to need instructors. Blythe went over the tuition costs, but I just wanted to clarify. Today and tomorrow is the final day of the current pricing. As of April 1st, the total tuition cost will be $3,150, which is split up into that enrollment deposit, $22,100, and then you can either do the payment plan, which comes out to 5 monthly payments of $630, or you could just pay the second enrollment, like the enrollment deposit for the in-studio sessions for $2,895. That's as of April 1st. For today and tomorrow, the pricing is not yet increased. The enrollment deposit for the training is $2,000. And then the remaining balance to get locked and loaded for the in-studio training sessions is $2,750. Or you can do 5 monthly payments of $599. So if you're looking to get interested in training and you want to get locked in before the price increase, you've got those prices good to go up until April 1st, which is dun 2 days away. So down to the wire, but and I'm happy to send over any of that information in an email that anyone would like it. I don't have it kind of in anything written up that I can display to you guys now, but I'm happy to send it over in an email. Thanks, guys.
Great. And guys, yeah, Siobhan, if I can get those two from you, but Molly just wrote and said, can we get the prices and the increases in writing somewhere? I don't know if we can. Okay, Nadia said she can send those. I don't know if someone wants to pop them up into the chat.
I will pop them up.
Yeah.
Into the chat.
Okay. Because those came sliding right off your tongue, my friends. Very good. Thank you so much. All right. And
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So for the in-session studios, do you guys have like the schedules? I just in case, like, you know, I work a full-time job, so I just wanted to see what kind of the timing was for the in-studio sessions.
Absolutely. So our first weekend is April, set right now, April 21st. So we're going to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's April 21st, 2 to 8 p.m. That would be the Friday. So fingers crossed, you could just kind of work a half day that day. And then Saturday, Sunday, hopefully you don't work weekends. And then we go to May 5th, 6th, and 7th, 2 to 8 p.m. And then we go to May 19, 20, and 21. And then we finish out June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Thank you. And then even on the weekends, it's also 2 to 8 p.m.
2 to 8 is when we're going to hold it. Yes.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys want to know where as well. So the first weekend would be held at East 89th Street in Manhattan. So that's 1st and 89th. The next weekend, just pulling it up. Yep, the following weekend, which again is May 5, 6, 7, is at Gramercy, which is on 22nd and 2nd. Then we go to May 19, 2021, which is in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn, And then June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is back at East 89th Street, 89th and 1st in Manhattan. Okay. Okay, and is there a fee for the NPCP exam? Yes, there is. I'm not sure of the current cost. I want to say it's like $150. All right. Yeah. But that may have gone up. That's from, taking it years ago. So I can try and look that up for you super quick too. All right. And anything else? I'm just looking through the chat. Do you guys want to see a quick exercise? Just we'll kind of talk. I can talk you through what we do. So I'm in a studio. I'm just gonna pop my sweatshirt off and jump into it. Normally I always have Nadia be my body. But she's injured. Yeah. But Nadia says she's injured. She does a lot for being injured. Okay. I'm going to bring this over here. Now, this is a incredible reformer trapeze tower there. Can you guys see that? Okay. So I think one of the biggest things, a lot of people have experienced mat Pilates, right? But we haven't always experienced all the machinery that you learn with it. And we know that Joseph Pilates created all these mat Pilates exercises. They actually end up being the hardest form of Pilates to do just with your own body. So if we talk about a roll up, we start all the way down on the mat. We physically roll our whole body up. There's not a lot of people that can do this without, hitching through their spine. So inhale the arms to the ceiling, exhale, tucking chin to chest, rolling all the way up and over your thighs, using all those abdominal muscles, and then restacking from bottom to top in your spine. So what do we talk about? Most people can't do that. They're going to end up doing something like this. Right? Where you can hurt your back, you can pull things out. We know we've done this. And so we talk about, hey, you know what? What if I bend my knees? I can get out of my tight hamstrings. I can get out of my tight lower back. I can start to work through the spine. The other thing that we see all the time is that people are like, okay, I've got this. I've got this. Boom. And you get to a certain hot spot in your spine where you hitch and things happen and we're not strong enough there. And just by using props, we can get through that tricky part in our spine, actually even hang out here for a little bit, get the strength that we really want so that we're not ever pitching and hiking down again. Right, so it could be a simple mat prop, but what we also love to use is the springboard or the actual Cadillac apparatus. So over here, I put on the roll down bar to show you how much the machines can help us. So if I have the resistance coming from these springs, I can literally roll down one vertebra at a time and really try to find this beautiful work throughout my entire spine. And then not only that, but I can start to add on extension movements to it, right? So that I'm getting all of the different directions in my spine to help me move in every direction, which is really what we want for most people. What if I turn sideways on the Cadillac? We all know how hard, right, it is to actually do a side bend. and be able to lift all of my weight up by myself. But if I'm doing it with help, okay, I can lift up so much higher. Okay, so now I've gotten lateral flexion of my spine, I've gotten flexion of my spine, I've gotten extension of my spine, so we can move a healthy spine in every direction. Okay, and I can do rotation of my spine, all with a little bit of help, which is really difficult to do on your own. Right, so we love the springboard, the Cadillac, all to help us obtain those mat exercises. What if I want to teach someone, can I switch with you? Can I jump on there? I want to show them the reformer. What if I want to show someone how to do a roll down using the reformer, which Joseph Pilates actually called the horse, right? Because he wanted us to have this apparatus to help us move our bodies around. All of this is what we need for the teaser, right? Everybody wants to be able to do a teaser. What a tease. So what we do is we can put weight onto the Cadillac and literally physically teach people how to do the first part of a teaser or that roll down. So I'm holding on to weight in front of me and I'm going to physically roll my spine away from me. Just till I get to that sort of earthquake spot in my spine and roll back up. Eventually, I can start to actually lift my legs into a balance position. I'm just going to put you over here so you can see a little bit better, right? So eventually I can add this balance to it where I'm holding my legs, even in tabletop, and I'm able to maintain my balance as I do all of these different moves. And then eventually I can get this full flexion of my spine into extension, softly tucking, rolling all the way back up without having my legs in the air. Right now, what if I want to take it to something like the chair? Joseph Pilates created the chair for us city folk because it was a space saver. And I can end up doing my roll down using the resistance on the chair. Okay, or essentially prepping for a teaser. So if I'm reaching back behind me, trying to just get into this good teaser position where I can push and lift and push and lift. Okay, so that's the quickest little tutorial ever, just to get my spine to move in each direction. And that's the ultimate goal of what we're trying to do, is to teach each exercise, the origins of it, what your spine has to be able to do to land on all of these things. And then of course we talk about the deep anatomy, what you're really working, what you're going to see most when you're teaching people, so that we can do something about it. We can give modifications, we can give progressions. So I think a lot of us take classes, right? And when you do, you notice, okay, I'm ready for more, but the person next to me can't quite even do that. So what are we going to do? How can we create a great flow for people? Or it may just be personal reasons. How can I advance my Pilates life and know when to modify and when to progress for my specific recipe, my own body recipe? All right. Any questions about that? I'm just going to grab my glasses so I can actually see if anything's in the chat.
So Blythe, do you get into like I'm assuming when you talk about modifications and kind of the next steps too, do you kind of talk a little bit about this is a level 1, this is a level 1.5, this is 2.5. We don't do this, we don't do this in this class, but we can do it in this class.
We absolutely do to a certain extent. We don't call it, because this is literally a national certification that can take you anyone in the world. I would be telling you, this is a basic exercise, this is an intermediate exercise,
Okay.
and this is an advanced exercise.
Okay.
And then depending upon the class who's in front of me, if I know that everyone in the class is interested in working in Club Pilates, then we definitely touch on that. And a lot of my classes do. Yeah, I'm like, this is 1, this is 1.5, but beginner, intermediate, advanced.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I think someone asked, we're always trying to have the teacher trainings. We're shooting for September. I am booked for one in New Jersey in September. So I also have some time available to try to do New York. We would like to try to do them twice a year. And right, Nadia, do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking towards September, but you know, time is always our friend and enemy. We'd love to get you going right away if we could. Is there a way to get a copy of your? Oh, a way to get a copy of my PowerPoint. I can try to do that. Yeah, is that Molly? Yeah. Yes, I'll send it to you. All right. Now my numbers, they are just changing the prices, so some of my numbers are a little off. So I can try to fill in with the newer numbers and then get back to you on that.
I can also, Blythe, we can coordinate. I can get that information over to you. We can send it out to all you guys. And then I'm also going to drop my email address as well as my phone number in the chat. If anyone is ready to enroll or has more questions about the enrollment process. Again, my name is.
Oop,
I'm muted. Sorry, guys.
it just went mute. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I don't know if you heard any of what I said. I'm going to drop my contact information in the chat. If anyone's ready to enroll or has more questions about the enrollment process, you can email me at cobblehill@clubpilates.com, or you can contact my phone, either text or call, and I'm happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you. And I can shoot this to you too, if you want to get that out to people, that information. I'll send that over, my slides over to you, Siobhan.
Awesome. Sounds
Okay.
great.
Any other questions? Wait, 2 new messages. Okay. Or a list of the websites noted. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll send the whole thing out so you have all that. Yeah, definitely. It's important, and I know it's a lot to shoot at you at once. It's a great career path, and I have to say, I firmly believe that Pilates is for life. Really, it helps you all along the way, balance in your life and in your activities. So I am a firm believer, and I think it's a great career, but I also love just helping people with their personal Pilates legacy as well. Thanks you guys so much for coming. Any other questions? You all took down my phone number because that's the best place to reach me. If you text me, it's in front of me and I will get back to you.
Awesome.
Okay, so it's 917-603-2668.
And then I also sent a typo. I just sent my correct address, Cobble Hill RM, as in Mary, at clubpilates.com. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you, Blythe. Hope you all, got a good wealth of information. And again, we'd love to help see you on your journeys as becoming instructors.
I
Super
know.
helpful.
I'm going to see you all April 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Super helpful. Thank you.
All right. Great job, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Do you want to stay on for a sec?
Hey, Blythe. I want to make sure I've got everyone's contact info. I have all of my Cobble Hill peeps.
And I have the East 89th Street, so.
Nadia's here. Did you hear her?
Awesome. Yes. Hi, Nadia.
She's got those East 89. Congratulations, my friends.
Oh, thank you.
Very exciting.
Thanks. Yeah, no, very excited. Got a lot on my plate, but I want to get these enrollments.
And I have to say, I just talked to
for sure.
Isaac and I was like, I'm happier that you're at 44th Street. Even those 22 blocks are harder for me. I don't teach all the time for you at 44th Street. It's closer to home.
All right. So Nadia, you said, so you've got the East 89th folks. I know the folks who are here for Cobble Hill.
Yeah, I have a full program module that I can send people. And there are a lot of people who said they were gonna, who are interested from our studio who didn't even show, so. People are busy.
Yeah.
An iPhone that entered the waiting room. Should I do that? Nope, now they're gone.
Oh, that might have been, that might have been Estelle.
Okay.
I'll send her, you can send